think that there was ever any like contempt or anything coming from the side, like, oh, like you think you're better than like
No,
I don't know.
Of course.
I know personally, like when you start doing good, or when you know what I'm saying, when you're in a different environment, when you're looking, you know what I'm saying, when you're exposed to certain environments that can be more conducive to your success. A lot of people, especially like I said, community outreach in our community, look back on you like, fuck this nigga, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's not always out of jealousy, you know. Usually it's out of, I want to say, self-loathing.
Yeah,
because
self-disappointment.
Because to be honest, I found that most people who were upset when I started being successful and I started putting myself in these positions, at least, were I found at the end of the day. At first, I was like, "Damn, y'all niggas just hate me, huh? Like y'all niggas just hate to see me do good." You know what I'm saying? But after I found, like, oh wow, I feel like if probably what's underlying is it's not even that you guys are like, oh, jealous of the opportunity or you hate me. You know, it's like you feel like if you were in the same shoes or if you had seen the opportunity, maybe you would not have seized it, or maybe you would not have been able to. You know what I'm saying? It's more of like I don't want to say a sense of inadequacy, but a sense of like, damn, like this nigga has this, this, and this, and it's not even so much you have it. It's like I don't. You know, it's like, oh wow, why can't I do those things? Like why can't I be so personal? Why can't and like I guess I say all that to say like you feel like I mean, shit, it was your cousins or anything. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm not put it out too. Okay, so I'll keep it all anonymous and stuff, of course. But no, I completely agree with what you said because like I view my life as like embodiment of like Jupiter's energy. Jupiter's like the biggest planet, right? So it's all about expansiveness. Like my life has expanded in so many different ways. Like I'm always expanding, going off into new environments, new worlds. So my collective world and experience is always expanding. I've gone places very far, you know, like you also you're well traveled as well. So that alone, when I come back to like my homes and I see my family and stuff, they've never gone as far as I've gone, and they can feel that, you know, like, and then I think that's where the content comes from. Like I've had family members who be like, oh, that shit only happens to Warren, you know, that shit only happens to because it's coming from something internally insecure in them. And I don't take it personally, you know. Like I'm gonna live my life regardless, bro. Like I don't care what you think about my life, man. Like I'm so good at like knowing how people feel. I don't want to, I only absorb I can only absorb so much of someone else's energy before I just clock out and just detach from it, because it's like I know it's not good for me to just keep taking this energy and trying to contemplate it and trying to really think about it, because I think too deep about anything. So I try to limit what I am actually focusing my energy on. And when I focus my energy on how people feel about me and and like all that stuff, I always create a narrative that probably doesn't even exist. I'm just creating all these storylines of, oh, he probably did this because of that, he probably did this because of that. And I'm like, now I'm wasting time. And I became so aware of how constantly I would run and make stories in my head that I stopped. Like I call myself out whenever I just do it altogether now. So now I know how to just stop. And it's not like I'm really stopping. I'm just going back to just existing. I have a very good default mode, you know, where I don't have to think. I can just operate. So I just go back to that whenever I feel like I'm overthinking about something.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you too, bro. Just kind of thinking about like not only if like being in a certain position, but like how maybe the opportunities in your life or certain things you've been exposed to like after the fact of the community, like leaving the community, how you were raised and in the community that you were raised, maybe how that affected or maybe certain limitations that it could put on you, you know?
Right. For me, it was more like I had, as a child, as a little boy, I had to, especially as a kid, and you see a lot of things happening in the family, in the community, and something inside would change mentally. You know, it would change you mentally as a boy, and I had to become a man. You know, as a boy, So I was like 8, 9 years old. I had to become a man, because what I was seeing, what I was going through, and I had to force myself to get out. To like when I got older, all I wanted was to go to the army. I wanted to go to the Marine, to be enlisted because I was tired of the way I was living. I was like, I can't be living the way I'm living right now. There's a lot of struggling into my family. There's a lot of hurts going on, and I had to like something inside of me change, and then that change, the thing that changes is pretty much is to I want to expand. I want to learn about the world. I want to learn what's happening, what's going on, because I didn't want to see myself being stuck in the community for so long to a point where it chained me to be soft. It chained me or trapped me to become something that I didn't want to become. Because what I wanted to become was something totally different to what the community wanted me to become. Because after high school I graduated, I didn't go to college right away. I went straight to being enlisted in the Marine, in the Army.
Yeah.
I
What
didn't
stop?
pass.
What stop? Oh,
I just didn't pass, honestly.
no shit.
So no
Dude,
matter
thank God,
how
bro.
hard,
Thank God, bro.
Thank God, bro.
I kid you not,
Different
I,
path.
I bought the book, everything. I studied hard, hard and hard. Days
Oh,
and
you
nights.
didn't pass the written exam.
I didn't pass the written exam.
That's even better, bro.
Yeah, especially English is not my first language, but I was having a hard time with that. So I was like, okay, so I started to think maybe I need to go to college after high school. I was like, I can't pass the exam, I can't be enlisted, no matter how hard I tried. And I was getting tired of living where I was living at. So I needed to expand myself. I need to learn. I know there's different ethnicity, different race. I want to be involved. I want to be around this type of diversity because that's who I was when I was in school. Because when I went to school, it was so diverse that I wanted to learn more about different race, different ethnicity, different religion, things like that. So I went to college and did a lot of bad things. Obviously, didn't get a good grades. I wasn't an A student to be honest, but something inside me had changed me to able to agree and disagree in the community because I was always agree to whatever my mother said, whatever my uncle said, whoever said, hey, do this, and I'll do it. Instead of and stop and think, where is it gonna benefit me for me to do what they want me to do, or to become something they want me to become. I don't want to do what they want me to do. Like my uncle at the time, he wanted me to do to become like to fix computers, to be a mechanical engineer. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be that. So I had to learn about myself, my identity, find who I am, to why what I went through, and change it. Because sometimes, as a child, when you went through so much, it makes you isolate yourself in front of whoever friends you make. It makes you be distant. It's like you don't want to be friend with anybody. You just want to be alone. Because I know that we're men. We're not meant to be alone in this world. We're meant to have friends who's gonna uplift you. So mentally, it changed me a lot. You know, and I create a boundary in the community. There's this fine line where if you crossed it, like I don't like being disrespected. I don't like because what I went through. Because I never enjoyed my childhood because I was always a man, right, instead of a boy. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. There was a lot of traumatic happening in my life, and then it was just a lot going on. But at the same time, when I saw, when I was able to solve what was happening with me, because I was so shy, I was nervous. I couldn't make friends when I was in high school until I went to college. I finally had friends. I was happy. I was excited. I'm like, whoa, this is great. I'm seeing like people are drawn to me. In high school, it wasn't like that because how I grew up. Because I didn't have the cool Nike or Jordan all the kids were talking about. I didn't have the cool cupcake T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the cool clothes, but and then when I work, I my first job was like working in the admission office. You know, at college, that was my first job, and I loved it. And people around me was just so uplifting, so positive, and I become it changed me in a way to see people differently because I was always isolate myself. Like this, they're out to get me. They're out to hurt me.
It's kind of daunting
You know?
when you speaking about coming from communities. You know, like you come from a community that kind of like, for lack of a better term, puts you down so much
Yeah.
when you're doing good, and like puts you down so much when you're actually trying to strive for more. Puts you down so much, like, you know what I'm saying, when you kind of express yourself and how you kind of feel. And it's kind of daunting when you go into another community or another space, you know, like an admissions office, you know what I'm saying, like an affluent community, and you see all these people like uplifting you, you know what I'm saying. You see all these people being
Different
having so
vibe.
much faith in your
Yeah.
in your fucking
It's different
in your,
feeling.
in your ability, and you kind of look back and like I see. I don't mean to justify it, but I can definitely see the rationale and why. Like everyone's heard that, like, oh, black people get famous and they move out of the community and they never go back, you know. And to be honest, if you don't know what we know, I could definitely see the rationale in that because them niggas fucking hated me. If I was living around them niggas, they'd probably rob me for everything I have. You know what I'm saying? Not because they wanted, but just so I can't have it. And like I like what you said too. Like it's a good segue. Because when you're going to the army, you saw so many different cultures. You wanted to be surrounded by. That was the next question I was gonna ask. Like, um, let me say how I wrote it too. How many people do you know who are not like you? You know what I'm saying? I guess I'll start with you.
Dude.
And this can be anything, like ethnically, psychologically.
I'd say most people. I don't think anybody's like me. But in terms of like far away, I keep people get close to me. But no, like in terms of like how like my experience, you know, we come from different experiences, but with you two, I can tell that you've been through a lot and you've come back from it. You know, that's how I know like you're close to what I feel like. Because I tell you before, I feel like I've died millions of times, many times over, and I've come back, and I feel like there's a clear distinction between who's done that because it's like beyond survival. You've survived past even what survival can offer. Like there's no like it's like perpetual survival. You've been through in that state, you know. So that's how I can tell. It's like a warrior mentality, you know. Like under all the peace and love anybody has, they have to understand war and pain and all that stuff too. You know, they keep that like I think what you were saying before, Mario. Like you like it's almost like you have to be able to give the peace sign. You have to be able to give the fuck you when it's time. You know, and that's I choose to be peaceful more just for my own self enjoyment. I don't have to be. If the situation requires me to turn up, I'm gonna turn up quick. Like I'm ready for that. But I think that's the key that I'm trying to say is that like it took me time to like really understand myself. So now if you don't understand yourself to a certain level, I know I'm gonna be uncomfortable for you. I'm gonna make you feel uncomfortable because I'm always drawing out the real you when I talk to you. I'm always trying to figure out who you really are because I want to understand who you are. Because I want that. I feel like that's respect. You know, me trying to understand who you are, me trying to be real with you. But some people don't want to face themselves.
That's real respect.
You know,
that's respect. If I'm bro, if I'm trying to get to know you, if I'm not even out of that, if I'm being real with you, like my real self, and I'm telling you know. Like, bro, shout out to all the niggas who I've capped to. You know what I'm saying? I literally, even to this day, if I don't really trust you, a lot of times I'll just speak in like a heavy accent. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you don't know how much niggas I just go and I'm like, how are you doing? I'll just go and I'll start talking to them in an accent, bro.
I've noticed that about you.
I'll be like, after I will call you after. I will talk to niggas like that for no.
That's
just
so
because,
sick,
bro.
Oh
Just,
my God,
just
I
because
love that.
I'm not no disrespect to you niggas, but it's like I'm real. If I'm real with you, like you said, bro, like I couldn't say it better. It's gonna be uncomfortable for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like, nah, for you too. Like, how much people you know who aren't like you?
I totally agree because I want to be anonymous about it because I feel like there's a lot of people that I know want me to be like them. You know, because of the changing that's going through my life, and they don't like it, right? They don't like the change of what I've become. May not become now. You know, they want me to just to go back, It's like go back to where you were, but go back being the Marty you used to be. Why are you talking to me in a different way? Why are you seeing me in a different way? Why are you putting boundaries and not no? I'm not gonna. I mean, this is who I am because I've learned. Because especially what I've been through, like people still trying to change me because now they see me. I have clarity and now my vision is not. I don't have tunnel vision. I see now my vision is clear now, and I see people in a different light. You know, like it's just crazy. Um, yeah, there's a lot of people that I know that's close to me just want me to go back, want me to stop progressing. You know what I mean? Stop striving. Because I want to strive. I'm still striving till this day. I want to be better for me. I want to be better, next year. I want to be better the year after that. I want to be better until, because the sky's not the limit. The sky is not the limit. As long as I'm not in the moon yet, I haven't put my foot in the moon. It's not the limit. It's not over. I'm still, prospering. I'm still working on myself. That's not going to change. I'm still learning. I don't want to go back. I'm not saying people who wants to be like me, they want me to be like them. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to tolerate certain things. It's okay to let people walk over you like you're doing that. It's okay to do that. You know, especially people that's closest to me. Like they see me that, oh, now they see me as like, I don't know if I want to say as an enemy, but they see me like I'm like, what's the word I'm looking
Like
for?
a threat.
Like a threat. Exactly.
It's because like people can only lead you in the direction they're going. So like if I'm going backwards in my life, when I meet you and you're going forwards, I don't want that. Because it's good. I'm not going that direction.
Right.
So you're just a constant reminder that I'm not going in the right direction. So like, well, the right direction for me, you know. So when I'm around, when in contrast, I was going to ask you now, how many people do you have that are also going in your direction?
See, that's the thing. It's okay if you're not going to my direction. I'm not gonna come to you. The way you live your life, live it. I'm not gonna disrespect it. I'm not gonna have you change it. But you gotta do the same. You gotta allow me to do the same thing for me. Allow me to do what I need to do for me. You don't like the way I move. All right, create this boundary, create this line. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking everybody to follow me. No, I'm asking everybody to be yourself, to be who you are. Don't try to change somebody because they're not going the way you want them to go, or they're not agreeing because because you want them to agree with everything that you said. No, it's not how life is. We will never grow. There'll be no growth in anybody if this is the level, or if this is the level that you want to become.